The quiet hum of the luxury hotel lobby was suddenly shattered by a sharp sound. Smack. A woman's hand landed hard against a hotel receptionist's cheek, the force of it reverberating through the room. The receptionist stumbled back, her face stunned, her eyes wide with shock. Guests froze mid-conversation. Phones rose into the air. Murmurs filled the space. The slap had been swift, unexpected, and loud. But what happened next would change everything for both of them. Stay with this story. What happens next will leave you speechless. The woman who had struck the receptionist was a social media influencer, known across platforms for her polished images and perfect life. Her followers adored her. Her brand was based on beauty, perfection, and confidence. But in the luxury hotel lobby, she wasn't the shining star of her social media accounts. She was just another guest, and she didn't like that one bit. The receptionist, on the other hand, was a woman of quiet dignity. Her name was Sofia Martinez, 28 years old. She had been working in hospitality for 6 years, but in that moment, she was a symbol of the invisible labor that keeps the world running smoothly. She wore the hotel's standard uniform, a neat black skirt, a white blouse, and a name tag. And she knew how to handle the most demanding guests with calm professionalism. But that day, she had a different kind of guest. The influencer had arrived earlier that morning, her arrival noted by the front desk as part of her exclusive booking. She was a VIP, a person used to being treated like royalty. Her posts flooded Instagram: vacation, shopping, dining, always in luxury. But that day she was upset. Her mood shifted quickly as the hotel's Wi-Fi didn't work to her expectations. The receptionist had calmly informed her that the issue was being worked on, but the influencer was not having it. Sofia did her best to remain composed, offering help in a professional manner. But the influencer snapped. She demanded immediate action, and when she didn't get the response she expected, she lost control. "You're useless," she spat, her voice rising. "You work here and can't even fix something so simple?" Before Sofia could respond, the influencer stepped closer, her voice growing louder. "You're in the way of my vacation!" In a flash, the influencer's hand shot out, and smack. The slap echoed across the pristine lobby. Sofia held her cheek, her skin stinging from the impact, but she didn't flinch. She didn't shout. She didn't retaliate. She simply stood there. The crowd around them was watching, smartphones now fully out, recording the scene. But Sofia remained silent, the sting of the slap still fresh, but her face calm, showing nothing but quiet resilience. In the next few seconds, the silence in the room grew even more intense. The influencer, looking satisfied with her outburst, turned to walk away, her heels clicking against the floor. She had expected something else, maybe fear, maybe a confrontation. But nothing happened. No one shouted. No one reacted. Sofia, still holding her cheek, walked calmly to the back office. What no one knew was that the hotel had installed security cameras only days earlier, and those cameras had captured everything. Minutes passed. Sofia went to the manager's office, still silent. Her composure never wavered. The influencer didn't know that, behind the scenes, everything had been caught on tape. The hotel manager, a man named Michael Pierce, was in his office when he was called to review the footage. He clicked play on the security feed. There, on the screen, was everything. The influencer slapping the receptionist, the stunned silence that followed. Michael leaned back in his chair. He'd seen many incidents in his career, but nothing like this. He knew the hotel had a reputation to uphold, but what mattered most now was the truth. Sofia had not reacted. She had not caused a scene. She had simply stood her ground in the most powerful way possible. By the time the influencer returned to the lobby, the situation had already shifted. Sofia was in the back office, but the footage had already been shared with higher-ups. The influencer was summoned downstairs, unaware of what was coming. She stood before Michael, still brimming with entitlement. "You slapped one of our employees," Michael said coldly. "And you did it in front of our guests. We have it all on tape." The influencer scoffed, ready to defend herself. "I'm a paying customer," she snapped. "I don't deserve to be treated like this." Michael didn't raise his voice. He simply pointed to the camera feed. "That's not how we handle things here," he replied. "Your behavior is unacceptable." The influencer's face flushed with embarrassment as the gravity of the situation dawned on her. She had thought the cameras would capture her beauty, her presence, her influence. Instead, they had captured her worst moment. By the end of the day, the situation had escalated beyond what anyone had expected. The influencer's manager received a call from the hotel's corporate office. Her behavior had been noticed. Her future at the luxury hotel chain was now uncertain. Sophia, on the other hand, was offered an apology from the hotel management, but she turned it down. "I don't need your apology," she said quietly. "I need respect." And she got it. The influencer left the hotel, humiliated by her actions. Sophia finished her shift, as she always did, with dignity. No one saw her as a victim. She was simply a woman who had chosen to stand tall, even in silence. And as for the influencer, her name faded from the luxury hotel's records, and the incident quietly disappeared from the headlines. But Sophia? She remained. Because dignity doesn't need to be shouted. It is loudest in the silence that follows. Have you ever seen someone hold their ground without a word? What do you think about how Sophia handled the situation? Share your thoughts below.